Welcome to the 19th episode of Automation Campaign. Today's objective is pretty simple and straightforward. Make a brand new Riocato, which is our smallest, cheapest car. Because this one is not really holding up to safety standards anymore. If I wanted to get it up to standard, I have to spend a lot on advanced safety. But first, before that, as I do in every episode, I will have to update engines. This time I really need updates to pass emissions, so these three engines, the F, G and H series, I will add double variable valve timing to the engines that don't have it. With all that engine work out of the way, it's time to finally build the new Riocato, and I think I've found a very nice body for it. In the future I could also make other cars based on it, because I've also got SUVs and vans and all sorts of things I can repurpose this into. In terms of build, it'll be very traditional. I'll still decide if I want to go treated steel later, but yeah, unibody chassis, galvanized transverse, cheap independent suspension at the front, and torsion beam at the rear, once again to keep costs down. I'll drop in the new 1-liter engine, manual 5-speed, obviously. I'll actually be going for basic interior this time, since it's much cheaper and I tested it out and I can achieve a good enough level of comfort for it to sell. And to change things up, I'm going with electric power steering instead of hydraulic. It's somewhat cheaper, it's better for fuel usage because it's not powered all the time, and I'm going standard 90s for safety because standard 2000, yeah, it's still very new and costs a lot. I have now finished making all the trims and all the design for the new Riocato, so I'll be showing it now. Yep, it's quite a bit different than the other cars I'm releasing because this is supposed to be hip and cool, you know, to attract the younger crowd. And I could have made it look a bit more modern, but I'm holding it off a bit because it releases in 2003. I want it to be period correct, so to say. And I'll have a bunch more ideas thrown at it when I make some facelifts further down the line. This is the base model, a very good fuel consumption of 5.1 liters per 100 kilometers. This is almost diesel-like fuel consumption with a petrol engine. Granted, it's like 58 horsepower. The plus model right here is the fancier one. I've got alloy rims on it, and it also has a continuously variable transmission making an appearance yet again. Last time we did it was the Dolce Vita City car, which I didn't choose to make again after the third generation Riocato because, yeah, it was washing down the brand, so to say. But this gets very good fuel consumption, 4.8 instead of 5.1 with this, and I get a lot more drivability and comfort, so this should drive up sales. And last but not least, there's the super model, the sportier one. I put in the 1.5 liter engine, gained about 30 horsepower from it. Lowered it a bit for that more sporty look. Everything that was plastic, like the trim and door handles, are now the same color as the car, which give it a way sleeker look. And I've also got a spoiler on the back to set it apart even more. Does fairly good in the sport budget category if this thing loads. I've got the prices here: 7,300 for the base one, 7,800 for the nicer one with the automatic and the alloy wheels, and 8,500 for the sporty one. Again, they're at the lower end of the market, which should make them sell even if the interior isn't that great. And as for the other cars, I've mostly updated the interior. Like if they had a cassette player, I put in a CD player, and for the Monolita, I've put in better safety. I've also upgraded an engine factory for the F series engine, the cheaper inline 4. I've signed off all these projects, and now I have to do the V6 cars. And here's all the V6 cars ready to be facelifted. As you can see, the C200 van got a visual facelift as well. The front end is different, a bit more in line with Fusco design. The Dolce Vita SP stays the same, but the higher trims get a navigation system, and all cars get better steering. As for the Dolce Vita LP, again, the top trims get a navigation system. I put in a new engine, and I did a pretty small tweak in terms of looks where I moved the grill a bit down and made it bigger. And I've also upgraded the factory of this from a medium 2 to a medium 3 because that just wasn't cutting it. No loan as usual. As usual, before finishing the episode, I'll be taking the cars on a little test drive. First, I'll be using the Plus model, the one with the automatic. I mean, mostly the CVT is actually. To your average consumer, maybe they wouldn't know, but it's technically a bit more economical than an automatic. And getting around the city, it feels pretty nice. Let's see if I can go down this alleyway, because it's a city car after all. Very nice. Some tight turns here. I don't know if I'll make it through. Gonna need some 3-point action. Oh, and I've just barely made it. So yeah, very good city car, even if it's bigger than the previous gen. I think the wheelbase is 1.5 meters bigger, but we don't really have any sacrifices. Yeah, let's just take the ride here and exit. Once again, I think the engine's a bit too revved up. Nah, it's fine. It's a small engine anyway, so it won't use that much fuel. So when I'm cruising right now, the transmission is taking care of everything. And let's see if I floor it. It's satisfactory, I'd say. So if you need a bit more power, you can have it, but not too much. Hopefully in the future I'll fix this with new engine, but that's planned for a bit later down the road. Yeah, now uphill, let's see how fast it is, because before I was going downhill. Decent enough for a very cheap car. Yeah, I can go past 100. Yeah, I remember the first generation of this being way slower. And I don't think this increased size adds that much weight, like mostly 50 kilos, and it's a lot bigger. You can still move it around tight streets, as I've shown. So overall, it's a welcome improvement over the past generation. And you won't be running out of steam up hills. Now let's see the sport model, the Super. I'm expecting some nice handling from this. Yeah, already, because it has about 35 more horsepower, it gets going faster. Well, a slight bit of understeer, because it's front wheel drive. Let's see how it is on this side road. It should have a bit more grip because of this wing and better tires. Alright, now we've got the corner to brake. It stayed stable enough, I'd say. Okay, now here's a really big braking zone. Oof, let's pretend we didn't see that. Uh, it's not full on sport tires, maybe. It's a skill issue on my side. Let's see if I can brake for the next corner. Yeah, braking earlier now. Let's see how it takes it. Oh, still got a bit of understeer, but I'd say it's not as bad as the previous cars. Okay, one more chance to see how it steers. So and so, but you wouldn't really expect that much from this. Okay, this corner was better, so it's just the very tight corners that are not ideal, but around this, it's very fine. Up another tight corner. Okay, maybe it wasn't as tight, but yeah, I think I'm getting used to it and how to take corners. You just have to manage the understeer. Now, this has been it for this episode. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.